Or you ever get the people who are like, oh yeah, peak week, and they hear stories about it, they hear, what it's like backstage. Happens more frequent than usual, where it's glamorized or over romanticized, and they're like, oh coach, when am I going to get my feedback? Or oh coach, when I'm going to do my surplus? Or like, oh, do I eat now? Or
Oh yeah.
backstage I get to eat the chocolates
Oh,
for
they do the sugar, yeah. Oh, can I
yeah,
have this whole thing of
yeah,
jelly, and then can I have two Snickers bars, or yeah, some crazy stuff,
some
right?
crazy stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Or the oh wait, this is the one. No, this is the one. Okay, and we're gonna talk about it because I think it's interesting because I've messed with it before, and then I was like, it just doesn't make that much sense to me, but it's funny. Is the burger and fries thing, okay? The burger and fries, the infamous burger and fries, right? So
yes,
I'm like, okay, what? Well, for me, the problem that I have with stuff like this is okay, okay, right, burger, lots of sodium, there's fat in there,
lots of fat.
there's carbs, so it's kind of like you're getting all of this in one, right? It's like a whole thing, protein, carbs, fat, all in one thing, sodium, like all in the bite, the fries, right? Problem that I have with it though is that if somebody's eating really, really clean this whole time, and they go, especially with the fats like that, it jacks up their stomach sometimes. And then they get gassy, and then they're kind of in pain. They're like
Distended
distended, or
abdomen.
they're just feel uncomfortable, and I'm just like, why would I want to give somebody something that they haven't been eating the whole time? And they'd be like, here, it's the day before the show. Let's have this, like that's just my thing. Some people they swear by it, but I'm like, no, I'm gonna kind of stick to the same thing. If I'm gonna give you, I'll probably do like let's do the ground beef. I like the rice with it. Maybe you can add some salt to it or some, if I'm gonna do some type of sodium thing. But I'm sticking to real basic, like people are excited, right? It's like, oh, I get to eat this food. But I'm like, no, just wait till the show's over. Like it's only one more day. I'd rather you not have to deal with that stomach issue, and you go backstage, you're kind of hungry still, like you're still kind of hungry, you're still looking forward to your meal. And that's, I feel like that's probably the best way to go. I mean, you're gonna load up. And sometimes some guys load up so much that they're not hungry. They're like, oh, I'm tired of eating because they were loading like crazy. Some guys are like that, and they can do that. Some people can do that. You can load them like crazy, and they don't even want to eat the day of the show. They're just tired of eating because it's just tons of carbs. And I've had that happen with guys, and they're shredded. But again, not everybody's like that. So I don't know. This whole burger and fry thing is it's an interesting thing. I always found it interesting, and people get excited about it. Like, I get my burger and fries tonight, and
Or
it's
at
simple.
from prejudging, and then the intermission between
Oh,
prejudging
that
and night
one.
show, they want the burgers
That
and
one. They
fries
do
ready
the whole
between.
thing. Yeah.
Jay, why are you shaking your head? What's your thoughts?
I had a contest one time back when they had the Hawaii Pro and they had like the NPC show attached to it, right? And there was an incident where I had a client who had won her class, and then another class she was going up against another girl that ended up beating her. So they were both going to go up for the overall anyway. And so after prejudging, I said, don't do anything stupid. Eat your food. Let her go do something stupid.
Yeah.
And that night, my client won the overall
Oh, okay.
because I had a feeling like if she would have done the burger or any of that crap,
Yeah.
it could have messed her up and then she could have lost the overall. I think that's the only overall figure win I had.
Oh, okay.
But the other girl showed up looking watery. And on top, if I can add something about the burger fries, if you don't mind. Most guys that works on that I've seen are usually doing burger and fries for cheat meals through the preps. They're used to it.
Right.
Second, let's say it does work. You don't know what worked. Was it the sodium? Was it the fats? Was it the carbs? So
yeah.
what's the probability that we can recreate that same scenario again and nail it? We don't know because we don't know what worked. So I'm with Mark. I'm not a big fan of
I
doing
kind
stuff
of
like
think
that.
some coaches do it
I
because then it makes their
okay,
client happy. The
it
client's all
does,
excited. I don't know.
yeah.
I feel like
But
that's part
for
of it.
me, um, certain clients, if I know you're there, hands down, lights out, I know you're there. We kept it in the diet. Burger. You can add the lettuce, tomato,
Mhm.
mustard, bun, or if you make your own, whatever you want to do, bunless burger
Mm,
but you had that amounts of fat because you've been making your own
mhm.
burger. yeah, we could work something out like that. But the fries, the cheese on the burger, mayo, no, that's a
Mm.
big no. Avocado, maybe. The fats, they probably could use it, they've been low fat for a long ass time. So
Yeah.
yeah, I kind of will allow certain clients to play with that thought, but other ones, absolutely not. But if you're up for potential either overall or what have you, yeah, no, that ain't happening.
Because what this is kind of messed up, but you got the client who, they just, they struggled on the prep, whatever. You're trying to get them there. They just, something was going on. They weren't following it. They were messing up, and he knew it, and they actually knew it, but they wanted to compete. And you're like, okay, they definitely didn't show up the way they were supposed to. And you're like, yeah, they're probably not going to make the top 3, maybe not even top 5. They're like, oh, I'm so hungry. You're like, yeah, go ahead and have a burger and fries because you're not there. And yeah, the burger and fries, you're probably going to look the same. Sorry. Because you know how it is. Like, if you're not at a certain body fat level, it's not like you ate this food and all of a sudden you see a change. It doesn't really change much. You have to be lean at a
Yes,
certain point. Then you see those
absolutely.
changes quickly.
Yes.
When you're not lean enough, you eat food and nothing really happens. You're
Yep.
like, oh, it looked the same because you're not lean enough. So if the person isn't lean enough, you're just like, hey man, you want to go have burger and fries? I can have burger and fries? Sure, go have burger and fries, man. I'm like,
Yeah.
just enjoy yourself already, dude. You suffered,
Yeah. Enjoy
somewhat
yourself.
suffered long enough. Just go have it because you're probably not gonna place. But I'm like,
You're not gonna make first
yeah,
call out, and
yeah,
that's fine. If
and that's
competing
fine.
is
That's
a
fine.
fun thing for
Yeah,
you,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
fine.
yeah,
But if you're there to compete,
yeah. Of
you
course,
could wait
yeah,
one more
yeah,
day for that burger and fries and ice
yeah.
cream and your beer or whatever you want to do, alcohol,
Pizzas and
pizza
yeah,
and all of that,
pizza loading.
cookies.
Yeah,
I'm not that person that will give you junk food to pump up unless we need something to react in your system, like because you're absolutely flat.
oh
I
yeah,
did it once with somebody, you know who you are. And hey, you know what? It worked like a charm because we
yeah.
needed it at that
Right,
time.
right.
And I'm like, shit,
Yeah.
I need chocolate. We need sugar. We need a little bit salt to get in this guy's body. Work like a charm, but not all the time because a lot of them think like, oh, don't we get to have like a dirty bulk backstage? And you're like,
Right. You know what's
it's
pretty
not
good?
always.
You know what's pretty good is that you get the non-dairy like gelato. Oh, that works pretty good for people that are like behind. They're like, oh man, it's the day of, and they're just flat,
Yeah,
and you get it, and it's cold and it's liquidy, right? And
yeah.
there's no dairy, it's just a lot of sugar and stuff. And man, you get that, man, that works pretty good sometimes. People just like, whoa, just it hits them pretty
I
hard.
heard that, and I heard, like the Japanese mochi.
Yep, that's
Yeah,
another good
that's
one. Yep,
another
that's
good
another
one,
good
and it
one.
just
And
digests
it
really
usually
well.
doesn't mess with people's
Yeah,
stomach. There's no fat in it. So yeah, those are pretty good ones. I mean, but again, that's like somebody who's like, you're just like, whoa, what happened? Like we got to get them filled out.